So I think the main takeaway I have is pretty easily summed up in the John Dewey quote in the Alice Hamel book. He says, in order to have a large number of values in common, there must be a large variety of shared undertakings and experiences. Otherwise, the influences which educate some into masters educate others into slaves. I think in the music technology context, this is sort of to say we have a lot of options now, and even now more than when a lot of this stuff was written. And so let's use it in a way that is going to make what we're trying to say represented in a way that lots of people can understand and understand in different ways. And on the other side of things, the students can use the multiple resources at hand and know how to do that to express themselves and be creative, because that's important too. So Rosenmeyer, this is from 2000. This is talking about the future, so really it's talking about everything that we have now and sort of the design of it. So, you know, the new kinds of technology that they're trying to develop here, they're saying they need to provide multiple means of representation. They need to provide basic access for some students and multiple routes to meaning for all students. So this sort of starts with the idea that students with disabilities, we may have to have like text-to-speech, speech-to-text, things like that, but from that is born sort of the idea that some students, just any kind of student, may see a screen with a bunch of words and not really take away anything from that, and they might need a diagram to really understand what's going on. And, you know, even a handwritten diagram might not get the point across, but there's just so many resources. And when this was written, they're talking about stuff that you would find in your applications on your computer, but now there's a million websites that do the same thing, and can make your representation make sense to even more people with what we have. So that's sort of the representation side of things. All the books cover that a little bit. But I'll move on to expression, and I'll just, again, just use one resource here. This is Ethan Hine. He's talking about DAOs. He says, in the digital studio, the distinction between composing, improvising, performing, recording, mixing, and editing has collapsed. Bell describes how musical actions like listening, performing, improvising, closing have coalesced with technical actions like tracking, editing, mixing, and mastering into a single action referred to as DAOing or producing. It's a lot of lists, but I think it's to say that there's just a lot of options for students to take any or all roles: composer, performer, editing, producing, however they best feel they can express their creativity. But the important part, no matter where they fit in there, is that they have the option to do all of it, and that they try doing all those things. Because then they're going to be better able to express what they've learned and express what they're saying creatively back to the teacher. So these two things sort of work together, and that's sort of talked about in all the readings a little bit, and some are more about the expression, some are more about the representation. Some have a little bit of each, but those are my big takeaways, and you know, I've tried my best to sort of sum them up really quickly here. There's a lot more to it, but you can check out some of the scholarship posts for some more details on that stuff. So, thanks.